Welcome to Stanley, Scuba, Sailing, and Adventures. I started diving as a teenager and eventually decided to become a dive master. I started sailing as a young man and took many classes with the American Sailing Association and completed an offshore passage of over 1,000 miles nonstop. I love exploring and believe that life is an adventure. It is what you make it. I appreciate you joining me. Please hit that subscribe button. Enjoy. Sailing Fort Lauderdale to Fort Pierce, Florida. This is the return trip. As I mentioned in my previous video, my neighbors in the next slip, Greg and Kelly, asked if I would help Greg take their boat to Fort Lauderdale to have some work done. Greg and I sailed his boat down, spent one day in Fort Lauderdale having the repairs made, and now, the next day, we're starting our trip back home to Fort Pierce. We decided a pre-dawn departure would be best. Here we're just finishing our short trek down the Intracoastal Waterway and making our way into the Fort Lauderdale Inlet to head out into the Atlantic. As we got into the inlet, we experienced a little chop. You can see the front of the boat bouncing here. The chop wasn't too bad, and as far as Florida inlets go, not a bad experience at all. It was a perfect morning for sailing. We had plenty of wind. It was from a good direction. We were able to shut off the motor and go full sails. That cargo ship you see in the distance is anchored. I was extremely happy to be sailing. There's quite a bit of footage in this video of just sailing, and I hope that you enjoy it. I had a lot more sailing content, but tried to pare it down to a manageable amount. I don't watch a lot of other YouTube channels, and I probably do need to start watching other channels to see what they're doing to become so successful. One thing I've noticed in some of the sailing channels that I've looked at is that they don't seem to show a lot of sailing video of just sailing, which I enjoy. We were making great time, and by 0800 we were just about to Boca. Here's a little video of yours truly. I usually don't appear much in my own videos and have been giving that some thought lately. I'd really like some feedback. Do you enjoy these type of voiceover video, or do you prefer to see the narrator? I'd also really enjoy some feedback on the sailing part of the video. Just the actual sailing footage. Do you enjoy that? How much of that do you enjoy? You might notice in this video, and also in the other one, there's never anyone at the helm. I think we almost exclusively used the autopilot once we were out in the open water. It was raining in the distance, and we had a lovely rainbow there, as you can see. The winds were starting to lighten a little bit, but we were still making great time. By noon, we had just passed North Palm Beach. Here's a little over-the-side view, trying to get the rainbow into the frame. Nothing better than sailing, just the sound of the wind and the waves, no engine running. I believe Greg had used the Fast Seas app to plan our trip, and it includes the weather forecast and gives you an idea of, whether or not being further offshore or closer to shore, where the better weather is going to be for your particular route. I had a little break in the weather and the sun came out, and it was a beautiful day. I don't know if you noticed, but we did have the fishing line out and we're trolling. We did end up catching one little fish Greg reeled in and threw back. It was just a little too small. I don't remember what kind it was. With a great angle of attack for the wind and being far enough offshore to take advantage of the Gulf Stream, we were making really great time. We didn't see any dolphins on this return trip, but we did clearly see a large man of war float by us. Unfortunately, I didn't have the camera running when that happened. By 1600, we were almost home. We were just passing Port St. Lucie and only a couple hours from Fort Pierce. It's always nice to spend some time on another boat. I really enjoyed Greg's boat, the way it sailed, the way it handled. Very, very nice boat. By the time we were in range of the Fort Pierce Inlet, the wind had completely died and we were motoring. The seas were extremely calm at this point, as you can see. I guess the calm before the storm, as the forecast for the evening called for heavy weather. The forecast wasn't much of a concern for us, as we knew we'd be home shortly. I've always found the light in the water mesmerizing. It's one of my favorite things. By 1800, we were back in the slip and tied up. It had been a great trip. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment.